Can you guess what my favorite social media network site is?
Facebook?
Twitter.
Instagram.
My favorite social media network site is LinkedIn, and I'm going to tell you why. For some, LinkedIn may be that social media site that they either totally disregarded or they created and then never checked on again. But for me, it is such a great resource. It is a great way to manage your online presence, and if a hiring manager is trying to learn a little bit more about you to decide whether they want to interview you, if you have an account on LinkedIn and they can go there and see all the great things that LinkedIn allows you to populate your page with, they're gonna want to bring you in. So today I want to talk about how to use LinkedIn.
Hey, what's up? My name is Whitney. I have many passions. I call them my Passioniplets, and career management's one of them.
One of the reasons I really like LinkedIn is because it is totally made for you to brag on yourself and all your professional accomplishments. You may not want to discuss the job that you have or the experiences that you've had on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, minus that one self-praise post like, oh, I got the job. But on LinkedIn, you can post about the job you got, the internship you got, and post updates continuously, and it's going to add to your overall profile. While you may be intimidated by the site, it's a really great resource, and I want to go over a couple ways on how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn tip number 1 is to input all your experience. You may be applying for a job or internship in a totally new industry and think that you want to exclude some of your older jobs from your resume, but you don't want to do that. While you may think that job isn't applicable to feature on your LinkedIn, a hiring manager may look at it and be able to tell a couple of different things about you that you would want to communicate to them. A personal example for me is before I started interning and working in the marketing industry, I had a lot of retail experience. I worked in retail from age 16 to about age 20. And I still include that on my LinkedIn because it communicates a couple of different things. Having my retail experience on my LinkedIn shows that I was reliable because a lot of my retail jobs I had for more than a year. It also showed that I was interpersonal because working in retail you have to talk to customers. And it also showed that I had a diverse work background. Sometimes you want people that have different work backgrounds because they can bring something different to the table. It just makes the work environment more diverse overall. The next tip on how to use LinkedIn is to input all your contact information. It's important to put all your information on LinkedIn because you never know who could be searching for you. You could have a hiring manager that searched something in LinkedIn and you populated or you came up and they want to maybe contact you to apply for a job, and you definitely want them to be able to contact you. Another example is maybe an old friend or an old teacher or professor is trying to connect with you for some reason. Having your information on there will make it easy for them to be able to reach out to you. Tip number 3 for how to use LinkedIn is to leverage the headline feature. On LinkedIn, there is a feature where you have a headline, so if somebody searches your name or searches a specific keyword, that might cause you to pop up. However, the headline defaults to your latest job. You may want to update that depending on where you are in your career. When I was still looking for new internships and I had already had one other internship, my LinkedIn headline said, experienced public relations intern seeking new opportunities. Another example you can have is undergraduate student seeking new opportunity in insert industry here. The main takeaway from this point is having a keyword related to the industry you want to work in your headline. If a hiring manager or recruiter is looking for candidates within that industry or who want to work in that industry, you will come up. The next tip on how to use LinkedIn is get a good headshot. In all seriousness, having a headshot is so important. It's the first thing they're going to see if they search for you, and you want to just have a good one. You want to communicate personality if you can by still looking professional. I've had a couple of different images over the years. My first LinkedIn image actually was me in I could probably find it and put it here. It was me in a yellow coat with a black dress. I had this because I was specifically looking for fashion and beauty internships, so I felt like that image communicated that I had style and that I would work well in that environment. Later on, as I progressed in college, I just changed that to a picture of me with a blazer on with a simple background. but I want to communicate that you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need to hire somebody necessarily to take your picture. If you just have some good lighting and a nice iPhone, or if you have a friend that has maybe a newer iPhone, like that is going to work for you. Just get some good natural lighting, some, simple background, like a white background, put on a blazer, you're just dressed, put on a suit, whatever, and you're good to go. The next tip on how to use LinkedIn, don't leave your header blank. So in the old days, the header used to be like a premium feature. You couldn't change the picture that comes up behind your profile unless you paid for LinkedIn Premium. But those days are over now, and you can totally change the header on your profile, and it's such a great thing to leverage. I've seen a couple different approaches to the header. When I was researching, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with my header, and I was literally just like searching online and clicking different profiles. Some people that work at the same job have literally the same header. Some people leave it blank, which I wouldn't recommend because it's there and you can change it, so why not make it fun and more you? Some people just have like a landscape. Some people have quotes. Some people promote the business that they work for. For me personally, I have a quote that means a lot to me. I have my favorite colors, and I also have my website on there. So I feel like this is great because if somebody were looking for me and they wanted to get to know me, I love pink, as you can probably already tell. It's a color that I feel like represents me because it's bright and fun and happy, and those are all the things that I feel summarize me. So I want to communicate that on my profile. I also have a quote. I'm very into doing what you want to do and believing in yourself. So I have a quote that says, "It always seems impossible until it's done." I thought that was a really great quote. I didn't know that getting internships and getting jobs were achievable for me. When I was in high school, I wasn't the best student. So to be able to make a transition, even when sometimes teachers tell you, like I remember my teacher saying, if you don't do it now, you're never gonna do it. And that's not true, because let me tell you, I was not doing what I was supposed to do in high school all the time. But as soon as I graduated, I did a year at community college, and then I went to UB, and now I have 4 internships and I have my job. So like it can be done. And even though I might not have believed it in high school, or somebody told me I couldn't do it, but I did do it. So it always seems impossible until it's done. Basically, with the header, just do something that communicates your personality. It's a great feature to leverage. It humanizes you, and it can make you seem more realistic as a candidate. So leverage your header. The next tip on how to use LinkedIn, don't over connect. Okay, this is something, at first I was very much like, don't connect with anybody you haven't met before. But I have learned that there are some reasons why you may want to connect with people that you haven't met before. But let me go over what I do first, and then I'll talk about that. In most cases, I will not connect with somebody unless I've had some kind of interaction with them before. So that could be an email, a phone interview, an in-person interview, a networking event. I prefer to connect with people that I've met at least once, because that is like the actual purpose of LinkedIn. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and LinkedIn was made for you to utilize your current networks and identify who they know so that you could use that connection to potentially get you a job. Back in the day, you couldn't connect with somebody unless you knew them, you had their email address, or they confirmed it. Like, you couldn't just connect with people like you can now. But I think LinkedIn realized that people didn't like that. People wanted to be able to connect with people that they may not necessarily have their email or their phone number to confirm the connection. So now you can connect with anybody. But keeping it to people that you have met or had an interaction with can be really helpful, and I have an example of that. When I was looking for my first job, I had an interview at a local organization here in Buffalo, and the hiring manager had known my internship supervisor. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm putting my internship supervisor as number 1 on my reference sheet, because clearly they know each other. People feel comfortable hiring people that they know, or that someone that they know can speak on. So that's an example of why connecting with people you know or you've interacted with once can be helpful, because if I was just connecting with a bunch of people, I could have still been able to tell that they knew each other, but it just wouldn't be as clear. Like, I could have, if I was connecting with a bunch of people in Buffalo, I would have been like, oh, like, okay, we have a bunch of mutual connections, but I may not have saw like, oh, like she actually knows this one person that I really do know amongst all these people that I just connected with. So that's a benefit of connecting with people that you know or you've met with or have had an interaction with before. So the alternative to only connecting with people you know or you've had an interaction with is literally connecting with anyone and everyone. Not something I do, but I can see why somebody would do it. Here's an example. If I work at a company and we're selling a product, and I want to connect with our ideal customer for that product, I could start connecting with a bunch of different people that would be able to use our product, and then start sharing articles, making videos about issues that could remedy the problem that the product might be applicable to the people that I've been connecting with. So if you are in a sales type role and you want to utilize your LinkedIn for that, I could see why you would go connect with literally like people that you don't know for that purpose. Some people may be thinking, well, what if there's a hiring manager or there's a recruiter that's posting jobs regularly and I want to connect with them? I wouldn't necessarily connect with them. I would utilize the follow feature. LinkedIn has a follow feature where you can literally follow somebody and see the posts that they are making. If you are looking for a job or an internship, following those people could fill your feed with those job postings. The next tip on how to use LinkedIn is leveraging reviews. So LinkedIn has this very cool feature where you can request somebody that you've worked with before to leave a review on your page. This feature is huge because if a hiring manager is looking to hire you for a specific job, or they're searching for candidates and they find your profile and they see like, oh, your old boss commented on your work ethic for a specific job or task you did, that's just adding to the reasons why that they should bring you in for the job or hire you. Those are the tips I have for how to use LinkedIn. But I want to tell you a secret tip before I go. A fun little hack that you can do to make your LinkedIn profile stand out is putting a ring around your photo. So what I'm talking about is literally your profile on LinkedIn is a circle. So if you take that image and put a circle on that image, when you search for yourself, or if somebody is searching for a keyword that's on your profile and you come up, your profile might stand out a little bit more because you put a ring around it, and it almost makes it look like, if you've ever been on Instagram and you see the ring around your photo when you have something on your story, it's almost like that. If you don't know how to, check out the description of this video. I'm putting a link. I will do it for you. I love to do these things. It's super quick for me. I use Photoshop. It takes 2 seconds. So go to the description in this video and click LinkedIn photo hack, and you will see a form that you can fill out where you can attach your photo, and I will edit it for you. Those are my LinkedIn tips. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. Did I forget something? Did you really like something? I want to know about it. Let me know. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so I can keep making content. I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks again for watching. Be sure to check out these videos on the right so you can keep learning the tips and tricks that help me get 4 internships and a full-time job.